Alright. Welcome back to Beagle Eye Visions. I'm not gonna lie, I flubbed up. I totally didn't have my notes in order and all that good stuff. Yeah, I didn't have my notes in order. I didn't read the notes. But now I got it all figured out. The life of a YouTuber. Anyways, this month, it is July 1st, 2000 and what year is it? We're still all slaves. That's kind of what's important. But this month's book for this Beagle Eye Vision book review is titled The I Am series by Paula Davis. It's a 10 out of 10 book. Absolutely 10 out of 10. So I'm going to stick to the notes, and it's going to be fun. I really need to learn how to stick to my notes, because my notes are here for a reason, right? But anyways, so right off the bat, this was written by my aunt, and before the haters chime in to say I'm just promoting my family, we live in the same town, we barely see each other. I don't have a vehicle yet, she's not one that enjoys leaving the house. Totally understandable. I can't blame her. I don't like leaving the house either. I skipped out on a cookout with my Aunt Dawn. Ooh, excuse me. My Aunt Dawn came to town from Florida, and they all had a cookout over at Aunt Paula's house, and I kind of skipped out on it, because work, dealing with work, dealing with customers, don't even get me started. But anyways, this book is 10 out of 10. Give me another cheer. 10 out of 10 from our a cheer from our live studio audience that we have out here. Yeah, like I said, I don't like leaving the house either, unless Squirt Dog can join us as he's getting older. You heard him barking at the beginning of this video. Shout out to Squirt Dog. Love you, bro. That's my best friend. So put your hate and judgment aside. Put your hate and judgment of my hairline aside, and listen to the information. There's so much good stuff in this book. So many nuggets of wisdom. And now you might get tired of hearing me say that after this book review's over, but it's a fact. It's just a fact. It's a fact. There's so many nuggets of wisdom in this book. It is so freaking good. Freaking 10 out of 10. This has been the second time I've read this book. The first, hold on, let me switch this, because copyright's really gonna slap me with this, with these songs. I know this song is kind of popular on YouTube, so you can't use that one, because YouTube cares about that things. When you use a popular song in your YouTube video that isn't a short, where they take the sound bit and put it over your video, it's a lot different. So it's weird. It's hard being a content creator, man. Okay, anyways, so yeah, I don't like leaving the house. Put your hate and judgment aside. There's a lot of good stuff in this book. This has been my second time reading the first two parts of the book. It was listed on Amazon, but she took it down, but now it is back up. I've expressed how I feel about reading books on my phone, and that's how I read it. That's how I read the first part of the book this is 7-8 years ago now, which is kind of crazy to think about. 7-8 years ago I read the book on my phone, and I started part 2 of the book, but I'd much rather having physical media. I talk about that on this channel a lot, so I'll leave it at that. I'm honored to have a physical copy of this book. Thank you, Uncle Jay, for hand delivering it, and thank you, Aunt Paula, for hand signing it, even though I flaked out on the cookout and nobody brought me a burger. Actually, I really need some Uncle Jay's cooking, man. Uncle Jay's cooking is it's so good. It speechless. Just like this book. This book is so good. They've been together for years, man. Uncle Jay and Aunt Paula, shout out to you guys. They've been together and married for they're the longest lasting couple I know in my entire life. Besides I interviewed the Marlows on this channel. The Marlows are absolute legends too. Shout out to the Marlows. But anyways, I am also I Am is also a 10 out of 10 metalcore album by the band Texas in July. That's what we're listening to right now. Still listen to it. The album, I listen to it on the daily for inspiration. I believe that the band and Aunt Paula this band and Aunt Paula are true Christians in the sense of Mark Passio's view of Christianity. And now I'm going to read an excerpt from What on Earth is Happening.wtf. Thank you, Dennis, for the hard work that you do on What on Earth is Happening.wtf. Fantastic website. Another fantastic. What on Earth is Happening.wtf. One of the best. I gotta give another shout. One of the best websites in the ghetto of the internet that we have right now. This website is fantastic. Man, I love me some W. Love me some W. So, Mark Passio says, not just the cultural religions do we define as religion. Do I define as religion? That might be a typo. You ask people, what's government? And 99% of people or more will not tell you that government is a religion. But it is in fact a religion because it's something that thwarts our forward progress in consciousness. Money is a religion because it also holds back our progress in spiritual understanding and consciousness. Truth is the one and only true religion, meaning that knowing the truth about who we are and how the laws of reality really work is the only thing that can reunite humanity's collective behavior into accordance with natural law. Again, another meaning of the word religion is to reunite. To reunite. To seek and understanding the truth about what's happening within and around us is an essential, fundamental aspect of true Christianity. True Christians understand human consciousness. They don't shy away from the word consciousness. Fake Christians do that. A lot of fake Christians hear the term Christ consciousness and they're like, oh, it's a New Age stuff. Trust me, I'm far away from New Age religion as you can possibly get. And I'll leave it at that because he cusses. Mark Passio. That's a quote from Mark Passio. So that gives you kind of an idea of what I mean by the true sense of Christianity. I freaking love that. Those were powerful words. Just like this book. This book holds so many powerful freaking nuggets of wisdom. It gets me so fired up. Even I'm still half asleep. Yeah, I had some coffee. I haven't drank any W, but yeah, I'm drinking W now, but still half asleep. Work sucks. I wish I could just read books and do book reviews and get paid for it, but that'd be sick. I mean, that would defeat the purpose, right? Getting paid to do book reviews defeats the purpose. Then, I'm adding like what Papa Meat does on his YouTube channel. Gamer subs. Gamer subs. You drink this Gamer subs flavor that's raw meat. There's a flavor of Gamer subs that's called raw meat, and there are people consuming raw meat. That's disgusting. Why? Like what? Again, religion. It's a religion. Meat eating is a dogmatic religion. But anyways, I'm going to try to, like I said, I need to stick to my notes. The book begins with book 1. I am the High One. Chapter 1. Now I heal. And now, Douglas Martin has talked about the claims of the Most High in many lectures, and he's talked about it extensively on the Cubbyhole podcast. So many shout-outs. Every book review. Cubbyhole podcast is fantastic. 10 out of 10. But this is not that. Douglas refers to government and not an individual, which really gets me fired up to start flipping pages. Also, on the first page, we get an Eckhart Tolle reference, and he also does great work. This can not only inspire, but also encourage the acceptance of things that an individual cannot change. Oh, that was Mark I heard somebody talking. Mark Passio shut out the music. Let me go back to the metal. Go back to the metal. Alright, here we go. So now there's a flow. Which really gets me fired up to start flipping pages. Also on the first page we get an Eckhart Tolle reference. And Eckhart Tolle does great work that can not only inspire but also encourage the acceptance of things that an individual cannot change, which is an important principle to an extent, I would say. And now here's an excerpt from the book. First excerpt from the book. Alzheimer's, they don't know what causes it, how to prevent it, or how to treat it and cure it. What it does, it causes forgetting. Forgetting forgetting the past, losing memory, what it is, it's not a disease, it's an aging, a part of aging. The parts of the body overused age quicker. This person overused their memory, but is not the only or simple cause, nor does it fully apply to all. People think differently. While not being aware of how thinking works, you wouldn't realize that you were doing anything wrong or unnatural. This patient, and there will be variance, is one who lived a majority of their life in the past, in their mind. Others may be focusing thoughts on the future or varying amounts of 3 types, including the now. Living in the now. There is no past or future. It does not exist. The more you live in the present moment, the slower you age. Eckhart Tolle is one such proof of this. We knew this a long, in quotes, time ago, or at least the thought of long ago. We forgot. How ironic. And that's a quote on page 2. On to page 3, she explains how negative thoughts can affect your entire body and even your energy. And it's so true, your inner chi. Right? Break the word down. It's your inner chi. And chi is it's a Chinese word for energy. Your inner chi. Inner chi, energy. Or in emerald language, oh, yeah. Inner chi. See, I'm already getting into emerald language. I always get ahead of my notes. Our habits of negative thinking can cause negative reactions on the body. Imagine when a mind free of worry and full of understanding could heal. Page 3. I would point the viewers to my review of a book called The Biology of Belief. Sorry, gotta get another. The in-studio audience is very good. I mean, when I shout out a very good book, the in-studio audience can't help but, give a clap, give a shout out. The Biology of Belief by Dr. Bruce Lipton. I also highly recommend everyone read that too, of course, but the review gives a decent generalization of what the book is about. The synchronicity is astronomical. The synchronicity in this book really is astronomical. It's mind-blowing. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Chapter 1 wraps on the ideas that muscles need to be overextended sometimes in order to reach peak, right? Or to gain size. If you're a bodybuilder, you want to gain size, you need to overstretch your muscle. But it's also important to practice moderation in all things. You know, another great quote is, "The actual process is one of destruction and regrowth of the muscle." Another fantastic quote from the book. I'm telling you, there's so many nuggets of wisdom. Jesus, it's overwhelming how many nuggets of wisdom. That's why I really didn't get that far in the book. Yeah, like I said, I read it back in the day. I started part 2. I will finish this 600-page book on my own time, and then I'll do a re-review of the book, right? I have a plan, right? I have a plan for Beagle Eye Visions. That's why he's got the green language coming out of his eyeballs. He's got that emerald language out of his eyes. Squirt Dog's eyes are not wide shut. Look at these things. His eyes are wide open, not eyes wide shut. Okay. Back to the notes. I relate this to what a lot of deep thinkers talk about. Something called the dark night of the soul. The hero's journey. The hero's journey. That's why I wore this shirt. The hero's journey of hitting rock bottom and rebuilding is a beautiful process that a lot of people don't talk about. And it drives me nuts because people need to talk about it. The book also mentions that fluoride can calcify the pineal gland. It's a fact. Look it up. Fluoride can calcify the pineal gland, which is another topic that largely goes conveniently ignored by the general public. She hits on so many good topics in the first section of this book. So many topics. So many good rabbit holes. Like good, positive rabbit holes. I mean, if you don't research the rabbit hole, then it's not positive. But if you spend time and pay attention, right? The spiritual currency. Spend time and pay attention, right? Look into these rabbit holes. And that's part of why I didn't get that far in the book on this read through, is because this book makes me think. It's so it's so good. Books always make you think to a certain extent, but this one takes that idea and sends it through the roof. It's actually unbelievable. I love how she wrote it. It's so freaking good. It's also mentioned that fluoride. Okay, fluoride, blah, 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 largely conveniently. Blah, blah. She hits on so chapter 2. Chapter 2. God is in the high. Great title for a chapter. It reminds me of the V for Vendetta movie, the film, the V for Vendetta, where Evie says, "God is in the rain." I'm not sure if I think that quote might be in the graphic novel. I can't remember though. I really can't remember. I haven't read the graphic novel in about 5, maybe more than 5 years. I used to have a physical copy, and I move around a lot. I ended up losing the physical copy. I'm sure somebody probably stole it, or so. One of my ex-girlfriends freaking, "Oh, this is mine now." I broke up with somebody and they're like, "Oh, this book's mine now." It happens. It happens. I forgive the people who are dirty, rotten thieves. It's okay. Yeah, that scene, it's a very beautiful scene where Evie, she steps out onto the balcony and overlooking the entire city of London, and she's like, "God is in the rain," and she does this like kind of the way I describe it does not glorify it in any capacity, but it is a fantastic scene. V for Vendetta is a beautiful allegory. Beautiful allegory. There's also a Matrix reference. Yes! Yes! Matrix references! Which everyone in the freedom community loves to see it. We all love the Matrix. Because the Matrix teaches us love, right? The Matrix teaches us not only love, but that we also have a choice. We always have a choice. There is always a choice, and that's another powerful allegory. Is the Matrix fantastic? I love it. You love to see it. You love the references. We all love the references. Yes, so good. Chapter 2 also gets into synchronicity and gematria, which, again, that's another rabbit hole. Gematria is really good. People look at gematria, look down on it, because people are skeptics and they don't understand because they don't read books, especially books like this. People just don't read books. And somebody was like, there was a 13-year-old child last summer asked me, because I was talking about the Satanism in the music industry, and he said, "Henry, how do you know that is a fact? How do you know that butterflies in a music video relates to monarch programming?" Or something along those lines was the question. How do you know that all these people are truly evil? And my response was, like, I sat there, I was like, oh, let me restart this song. Yeah, he was like, "How do you know?" I'm like, I literally can't simply describe to you, because it would take hours, right? It would take an entire day for me to explain the knowledge that I have in my mind, for them to monosyllabically understand the information. It's like, you have to read books. You have to read books. You have to do research. You can't, and it all adds up. Do your, like what Mark Passio says, do your research, study different lecturers, study different books, weed out the inconsistencies, and take the consistencies and then hold them true, right? I don't know how to give an example, but that's what you have to do. Weed out the inconsistencies and take out what's the truth and figure out the truth for yourself. It's not something that you can just I'm going to do a presentation and point out to you why the music industry is satanic, extremely satanic. It's like, you're not going to understand, and you might, even if you are able to understand, you might not believe it. You have to do the work yourself. You have to do the work your freaking self. And that's why so many people are skeptical, because they don't read books, they don't do the research, they don't spend time, they don't pay attention to that spiritual currency. And it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. Matrix reference, we love, agape. It's all agape, right? Look up the word, look up the definition, study the green language. Chapter 3 is also very, very, very thought-provoking, and I'm broken record. I'm going to say it so many times on this book review. This book is very thought-provoking. But I'm not going to give you everything. I can only show you the book. You are the one that has to read it. Dang it. You gotta read it. Read the book. Stop watching book reviews. Go buy the book. Get it signed. Get a signed copy. If you message her, I'm sure, or I think because Amazon sells the book, so you would probably have to order it from Amazon, message the author, message her on Facebook or something. She'll probably sign it to you. But you'd have to send it to her to get it signed, and then she'll send it back, which is kind of complicated, but it's worth it. I mean, it's cool. She's the type of author to do that. And just like Mark Devlin or Dennis Gilmore or the person who wrote the Mirror's Edge comic that I ordered, it's easy. All you have to do is reach out and ask. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, sorry. The peaceful song is over. Chapter 4. It's just a game. Again, very good chapter. It's a very good chapter. Using video games like The Sims to teach us about perspective and perception. Also using sports, which is definitely more popular than gaming for... You know, sports is more popular than gaming for some dumb reason. It drives me absolutely nuts. To show us... Wait... Also using sports, which is definitely more popular than gaming for some dumb reason, to show us how it creates separation and division. When cities come together to hate each other in the name of sport. That's a Julian Casablancas quote. Awesome. Awesome dude. On Crazy Life Stories podcast, Dennis, Matt, and I are always talking about the divide and conquer dialectic that sports largely contributes to. As well as politics. Again, politics is another... Oh my god, don't even... Oh yeah, what the heck, don't even get me started on politics. The author here puts a positive spin on it, though, and challenges us to change that perception. So good. Man, I love this book. I wish I wasn't half asleep. I need to get, like, another 10 hours of sleep. And so, like, tomorrow I'm going to sleep in again. I could not fall asleep last night. Like, I was thinking about the book review. I was thinking about the book. I wasn't even actually, screw the review. I was thinking about the book, because like I said, it just gets I read a few pages before bed, and I just couldn't sleep. It was like, man, it's very, 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 very thought-provoking. And like I said, books usually are thought-provoking, but this one, it's a whole nother level. A whole nother bezel. My favorite part of the book and the chapter is about the hero's journey, right? The hero's journey. That's why I wore this shirt, The Sword and the Stone. It's really easy for the human brain to get lost in the rewards and leveling up. You know, that's what she talks about in the book. She talks about leveling up in real life as well. The dopamine aspect, right? But the ultimate goal is to get to the end of the game. Gamers tend to ignore that, I would say, on a subconscious level. Then we're over here. We're completing all the side quests before continuing the story, right? At least that's how I do. I always do all the side quests first, and then I get to the story. You know, you got to get that extra power, man. Giving us new experience and skill to make the final boss that much easier. I would also add that video games kind of keeps us in the present moment. We kind of lose ourselves for a short period of time and forget about the outside world, focusing on our goals. It's a microcosm, right? Absolutely, it's a microcosm. I thought there was a breakdown, but it's just a change of a song. Man, so freaking good. I'm gonna read this book on my own time. I don't know if I said that already, because I recorded 30 minutes before I did this one and I fixed all my mistakes, but yeah. The microcosm. It's a microcosm. Chapter 6. It is time. It tells a story about how the author would donate her hair periodically, but then she had the disappointing conclusion that the company wasn't using her hair for the cancer patients. Recognizing that pattern recognition is a very, 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 I can't express this enough, very, 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 very useful tool that people do not pick up on, right? People don't pick up on pattern recognition, right? Shocker. It's also, pattern recognition is also a part of synchronicity. And like I said, the thing about synchronicity, you might ask, what is synchronicity? He keeps saying it on the channel. What does he mean by synchronicity? It's not something that I would have to do an entire presentation on that subject alone and spend a few hours on the idea of synchronicity. Like you have to read books, you got to watch documentaries, you got to watch lectures, you got to study them, give them your full undivided attention. You have to be a good student, right? You have to be a good student in order to work your way up and level up to become a good teacher. It takes work. It takes time. But that shouldn't intimidate you. You know, work and time it's not. There are two things that we deal with on a daily basis. You shouldn't be so afraid of them. Stop living in fear, right? Chapter 7 doesn't specifically name it, but this chapter is about the Hermetic principle of as above, so below. Or I don't know if that's the principle. I think it's maybe rhythm. If you read the Kybalion, it talks like every chapter is like as above, so below, as above, so below. It keeps being mentioned because that's how important it is, right? That's what I mean. When you study these guys, when you study the truth, you gotta weed out the inconsistencies and take what's consistent and take it, and that's the truth, right? You got to figure it out for yourself. Like I said, I can't make you read the book. I can only show you the book and show you where to look and where to order it. You know, the Hermetic principle of as above, so below. Leveling up requires something above and something below. In human perspective, the game requires something then, something now, and something that will be. That's a direct quote from page 20. Every time I read this book, I can't help but think of Santos Bernacchi with his electrified, energetic classes. Bernacchi's early work is kind of all over the place, and like a video game, requires a few do-overs to fully understand what he is trying to teach. I really want to read the Bible and then come back and reread this book, as well as Dennis Gilmore's The Unveiling. Dennis Gilmore is the absolute legend that made the website whatonearthishappening.wtf, because otherwise I would have had to go back, watch the entire presentation of I am gonna cuss. Shout out to, I am gonna cuss. He's the only reason I was able to read that excerpt, because of his website from fake Mark Passio's presentation, Fake Ass Christians. So Dennis takes Mark Passio's presentations and he turns them into texts for those of you, like me, who like to read. And then you can go back and use that text for research or for book reviews, to where you can promote this type of work, this type of spirituality, the spiritual currency that people, they largely ignore. People ignore the spiritual currency. It's really sad. The Bible is literally on the list, on the unwritten list of Beagle Eye Vision book reviews. I can't wait to get to the Bible. But the thing with the Bible is there's so many different versions. Which version am I going to read? Am I going to read King James or the New Testament? Or, it's a whole nother rabbit hole. It's a whole nother, why are there so many different versions of the Bible? It drives me nuts. That's freaking ridiculous. But anyways, I need to stick to my notes. Chapter 9 compares our brains to computers, which many teachers have done. During our youth, they call it the formative years. When you format a computer with a bad OS, or operating system, as it's otherwise known as, it's garbage in, garbage out. When the author writes in this chapter, or what the author writes in this chapter is yet another nugget of wisdom. Eventually I'm going to order a tablet. That way I don't have to physically take time and write the notes. I can type them, copy, paste, send it to the tablet, and then that will be like my my teleprompter basically. And then I also need to get another tablet, which shout out to Tim Tice. He gave me the idea of I could take the book cover and put it on the tablet, or I can have like I can have slides, right? Slides of information. Like I would have put the slide from Mark Passio's presentation onto a tablet, and I would have been able to swipe while I was reading, or have it on a slideshow and have it timed. But again, you know, like I said, this channel needs more. This channel needs more money. I spend a lot of my money helping other people. To be totally honest, that I mean it happens. But I mean, Aunt Paula and Uncle Jay also do that. They spend a lot of their time and spirits for currency helping other people, and she talks about that in the book. It's really good stories. There's not. The thing about this book is there's not one single like in sequence in utero story. It's literally it's like a journaling. It's a journaling, which is why I was, you know, I just read, honestly, this is one of those books that you like maybe read on the toilet, like maybe read a few pages a day type of thing, and that's, then you do the self-reflection, right? It's a lot of, like, I would say the biology of belief is exactly like that too, but the biology of belief has there's like a storyline, and there's a sort of a structure, you know, and it's he relates what Bruce Lipton in the biology of belief relates what he's going through in his personal life, and he puts that in his book, and then he talks about like he's a doctor, right? He's a biologist, so he tells a life story, and then he tells the experiment that he did in college with some of the work that he does. It's really, man, the biology of belief. If you haven't even seen that book review on this channel, the biology of belief is fantastic. Another chef's kit. Another shout out, actually. So synchronistically, as I am reading the I'm only human. As I am reading the I Am series by Paula Davis, Dennis Gilmore uploads to Substack an article titled "The Parable of I Am Sophia Christos," and man, oh, excuse me. I need to stop eating deep fried food. But anyways, yes, I'll leave a link to Dennis Gilmore's Substack in the description of this video, of this book review, for those inquiring minds. Dennis Gilmore's a legend. I love Dennis Gilmore. Fantastic. He's been doing fantastic work. What else? I'll leave a link to the description of this book because everybody needs to read it. This is an amazing book. It's 10 out of 10. It's 10 out of 10. I don't know what it's... 10 out of 10 book. 10 out of 10. Everybody. If you haven't read this book, but also I do have to say part of the reason why, you know, like with the James Bond series, I use a lot of quotes from the book, but I didn't quote this book that much because I know how underrated it is. Is there even like an Amazon book review or an Amazon review of this book on the Amazon? I'm gonna have to check when I go find the link so I can put it in the description of this video. I'm gonna see. I don't even know if anybody reviewed it. Is anybody reading this book? Like, do people read books anymore? Like, it drives me nuts because people do not read books anymore, and I don't know. I kind of get it. So I'll leave a link to the description of this book. I'll leave a link to Dennis's Substack, to his other website, whatonisishappening.wtf. He updates it on a daily basis. It's still very relevant. Everything that Dennis is talking about on that website is very relevant. In fact, I wish there was a website for this book where she would, you know, maybe upload to a blog just daily thoughts. I know, like, the book is one thing, but to keep it relevant and keep it updated, like Aunt Paula, you should have your own website. Or maybe Aunt Paula, start a Substack. Do you have a Substack, Aunt Paula? Put it in the comments below if you have a Substack. Give us a link. Give us a link. Give all the YouTube subscribers a link. So, very amazing book. I will finish this. I promise you. I never lied to you guys. I never lied to the internet. I'd never lie. Call me Abraham Lincoln, even though I think there were some things he was lying about. But I wish I got more sleep last night. Not as long as a book review as I usually do. So buy a copy of this book. It's 10 out of 10. Like I said, it makes you think. It makes the cogs start turning, right? It makes the butter start churning, basically. So that's why it wasn't hard for me to get through. But this book is so thought-provoking, and there's so many rabbit holes. Like when she mentioned fluoride, I looked it up. I'm gonna get on my little fondle slab, right? Shout out to Texas in July. Another shout out to Texas in July. Get on my little fondle slab and search up, right? Like search. My phone vibrated when I did that. Search up the rabbit holes, right? But that's man, people don't like rabbit holes. They don't like doing research. Like I said, they don't like doing the spiritual currency. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this book review. July 1st. Oh, that's another thing. Since it's July 1st, I never talked about this on this channel specifically. July 1st, right? What is 4th of July in America, the country that I'm in right now? What is that? What do we call it? We call it Independence Day, right? So break the word independence down. It's like a drug addict. What are we independence of? This is a holiday where we celebrate freedom, right? We celebrate freedom for one day out of the... Hey, hello. You guys know there's 365 days in the year, right? Like, we celebrate one day of freedom? That's something we should celebrate every day. But we don't, because we don't have real freedom. We don't have that true freedom. Because people are so attached to their religions, like that quote I read earlier. It's independence, right? You are independent. What are you independent of, like a drug addict? You're independent of the government, right? That's not free. You think that's freedom? You really think that's freedom? Do you think at all? Because that's not freedom. Independence, right? Break down the green language. The emerald language. It's coming out of Squirt Dog's eyeballs. His eyes are wide open. They're not wide shut. I don't know if I said that. It doesn't matter if I said that again. Squirt gets it, dude. Squirt Dog gets it. He's got the green language. He's got the emerald language coming out of his eyes. So when you are quote unquote celebrating our Independence Day this month, because it's July 1st, just start thinking. Please start using your head. Don't get drunk. Don't light off a bunch of dumb, stupid fireworks. Use your head. Use the spiritual currency. Spend time. Pay attention. It's not that difficult. It sounds like a lot of work, and it is a lot of work. It's not a vacation. That's why they call it the one great work. It's not the one great vacation. It takes work. It takes time. It takes leveling up. It's the hero's journey. So, I'll leave you guys with that. The next book review is Sea of Thieves, The Heart of Fire, because I love Sea of Thieves. Again, I level up in Sea of Thieves on a daily. This is going to be a good book. This book right here, the I Am series, over 100 pages, over 600 pages. It's like a Lord of the Rings book, you know? How many pages does the Lord of the Rings book have? There's a lot of nuggets of wisdom, a lot of good spiritual insights that will inspire you to get through this slavery, and hopefully maybe inspire you to talk to others, talk to your neighbors, grow a garden, maybe grow potatoes, have your neighbor grow tomatoes, have the other neighbor on the other side grow yams, have the neighbor across the street grow hams. You can't grow hams, but... Alright, I'll leave you guys with this very self-reflective song. I'm out of here. I'm going to go level up. I'm going to play Sea of Thieves, do my finals dailies. Oh, and let me turn it down real quick. If you want to support the channel, use code BeagleEyeVision without the S right here. Cover up that S. Beagle Eye Vision at w.gg for 10% off your entire purchase. Get yourself some of this delicious W right here. W's it's oh chef's kiss. It's so good. Anyways, I'll restart the song and leave you guys to it. Thank you so much if you made it this far. This book is 10 out of 10. Thank you, Aunt Paula and Uncle Jay. Aunt Paula, you're an absolute legend for writing this book. Thank you so much. People will recognize the nuggets of wisdom that you wrote in here. So help me. No, they will. People, it'll happen. We'll all grow from it. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.